Here's a tricky little open hi-hat placement, which I find people struggle with, and a couple of tips to try and get it, and it's just like a new thing that you can do when you're playing. You might get it straight away. It might be like, oh, actually, it's something I couldn't do, and now I can do it, and I got better. Okay, you learn one new thing a day. At the end of the year, you got 365 new things you can do. That's a lot of new things. So, let's have a look. We're going to play this. This is the groove. But the tricky thing you can hear is those kicks are in some pretty awkward places. And then the open hi-hat there. Whenever you're doing open hi-hat patterns, it tends to throw off your bass drum, because when you do an open hi-hat, obviously your left leg's coming up. When your left leg's doing something, your right leg don't like it. So it's trying to coordinate what's going on there. So the first bit's not too bad. Kicking a closed hi-hat, followed by an open hi-hat. That's the first half. You've done the first half. So kick, open. So 1 and. Then next bit, we're going to have the snare drum and a closed hi-hat, followed by a kick on its own. So up to there, 1 and 2 E. So it's that kick on its own, it's a little awkward. 1 and 2 E. And then to open, for the last beat, you're going to play an open hi-hat and a kick together. So again, first half, kick and hi-hat, and then an open hi-hat. So 1 and. Second half, 2 E and. So that group of 3 there, that's the trouble. Snare and closed hat, kick on its own, kick and open hat. And when you're doing that, you're playing, one foot's going down, one foot's coming up, and that's the weird thing. So again, snare and closed hi-hat, kick on its own, and then you're playing right foot going down, left foot coming up. Okay, if that's new to you and quite tricky, that exercise is great. So left foot coming up, right foot going down. So the right side of your body's like coming down, left side of your body's coming up. Okay, now the other thing, when you do have your legs doing multiple things, it's great to like plant something on the floor, otherwise you're kind of bouncing on your stool. People lean back to compensate. Back pain ain't great. So a good thing to do is when you're lifting up your hi-hat, keep your heel on the floor and just lift up your toes. And that, at least that way, you can see something's kind of planting you on the ground and stops you falling down and looking like a fool. So, 2 E and. That's the second part. Put that together. 1 and 2 E and. Okay, and you can see 1 and 2 and. Any part within there you can try and isolate. It's just the hi-hat. Also, when I'm doing these like offbeat hi-hat patterns, I'm tending to hit the hi-hat with my shoulder on my stick. So rather than nice play, okay, it's like I'm putting in all that effort. I want you guys to hear it. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, so I'm kind of 1, really digging in and making the open hi-hat like so obvious. So, and then a tricky little kick pattern just to work on your coordination. And if you manage to get that down, that's one new thing, making you better at the drums.